Hey, good morning, sports bettors. It's Wednesday, October 19th. My name is Boyd. I'm a sports betting market analyst with OddsJam, and I decided to do the morning market reports just because I'm up, I'm doing it, I'm ready to go, and I want to just kind of share and put a camera on kind of what I'm doing, especially in the first 15 20 minutes. I do a lot more, go a lot further, but I think this is a kind of an opportunity or a time to show you how I hunt, how I look for positive EV bets and other ways I use this tool. It's very, very vast. OddsJam is very, very big, so hopefully you enjoy that. I also excuse me, I do this prior to 7 a.m. Mountain Time. I'm in Denver. Colorado has a ton of sports books. I'm very, very fortunate. But I do this because at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, so 9 a.m. Eastern, Sport Trade opens up. Sport Trade is a betting exchange. And what happens is their markets are shut down after the last game each day. And then you have pricing adjustments and pricing changes. And then they don't make those changes until they open their market at 7 a.m. Mountain Time. So I try to do this right before they open up their markets so I can see the pricing variances and kind of what happened in the overnight markets. And it's been very, very helpful. And so I wanted to share that with you and just do this specifically at this time because of that reason. So we're going to take a look and go through here a couple minutes away from the bell ringing, so to speak. So let's just jump in. Let's jump into the positive EV page, and we'll look to get this going. You can see here the positive EV page is something I use constantly, daily. And I first kind of the first stop on the tour, and you can see here I've already got a bet in with a green check mark. On the left hand side is your percent edge in the market, the mathematical edge, and certainly Flip is one of the public sports books that we like to, we like our chances anytime we're going up against Pinnacle, which is the sharpest sports book. Market width is about 2 points higher than I want. I like to see it at 20 or lower for a mainline bet, but this edge is high enough to where I'm okay with that. So I may adjust my bet size. This is a recommended bet size based on a $5,000 budget. So that's kind of the pool of money we're playing with, and I'll show you the bet tracker here in a minute, kind of where we're standing for the month with this being in play. Another one that pops up here looking like a nice bet would be this total points on the under. It's a 19 market width with the Packers Broncos coming up on Sunday, so we'll go ahead and add that to the bet tracker. I have to go in and actually place the bet at Circa, so we'll go ahead and do that, but we'll save this right now just to kind of keep this process moving. And so what I'm doing while I'm talking is also grabbing my so that that's out of the way and done. So you can see here it says we put this bet tracker in the bet tracker, and it's ready to go. So appreciate the little update. We can scroll down here a little. What I like to do here is have a framework of what I'm shopping for. Like I like this 13 because I like this under 6. This is a bet that I would make again. I don't have anything in points bet right now. I do have some in bet spread, so I may consider that. But my point of this is I want to show you sort of how I shop using this tool. I like to find the edges above, certainly above 1.5%. And so this is a little shy of that. So I may adjust my bet size down a tiny bit, even though it's recommended to 60. Although what I have found is sometimes when I think I need to bet down and lower which you can do, lower your Kelly criterion bet. It turns out you win those games. Then the ones you don't bet, don't shrink a little bit because of your intuition, you lose. But this is a nice market with this under 15 is outstanding. Another one here is 16. We've already got the bet in already, and that's already placed. But I like to in the mainline bet, so your totals, your sides, I like to see this around under 20. Okay, this would qualify. I also like to see on other ones around 2.5 or above. Now I did a video yesterday with OddsJam, with the OddsJam channel, talking about with college football, NFL, NBA, college basketball, and everything's going on right now, right? This is the absolute mecca of times, and I think it's an opportunity to cherry pick and hold on one second. I'm sorry. It's a cherry pick. So why not take the best of the best, and why not sit back when your markets are a little bit dry and there's nothing going on in the spring and the summer. You certainly have to be a little more selective there. Again, you change your strategy. So you can also hit this play button. This play button will leave this on constantly, so you don't have to refresh. It's really nice. What I have found is when you hit this play button, it'll send you the data and really feed you a lot of information very, very quickly. So you have to kind of keep up with it. So I sometimes will hit that when I'm ready to take this information on and get these bets placed. And then you can hit pause to catch yourself up a little bit. So anyway, player prop bets like this, I like to see 30 or under. So again, that's kind of how I hunt. Those are some of the parameters that I use to hunt. I'm going to change screens here, and on what happened last night, I like to go back through and do a little history of what happened last night, and I also do, as I mentioned, I want to get over to the odds screen to show you some of the changes here. It's a different screen. I didn't want to pull up. It's just the list of games and the slate of games that you can check into. So here's what we wanted to look at, and you can see here these prices with best prices and with the sport to focus on this. And why I'm kind of doing this stream is because you can really compare prices and shows you best odds and get these bets in prior to some of the other markets changing their lines. And so as you can go through here, you're also going to see the color coded red. Okay, so this right here is telling you that's going through a price change. And I'm trying to scroll down here to show you kind of what we'll view. It looks like this is plus 16 and a half, plus 125. Now it's plus 18 and a half. So it's sort of an idea that you would go grab this real quick at plus 19 and a half. This was at 20, so this is coming down. You can also open this up, and I'm here at Pinnacle. I'm going to open this up and show you. You can check the line history, so you can see the direction. We talked about it yesterday in the live stream, how you can go in here and sort of going down to 18F, so you can check the direction of what's going on with that sports book in that market. So it's very, very important. And again, these live streams initially just are cruising through, showing you how to use the tools, showing how you can put in your sports books here. This drop down allows you to input all the sports books you have in your area. I've got about 27 selected. I would like to get it around 15, so I have a little faster load time. But I like all the data points. I like all the information that I can get, and so I do use that to my advantage. But I also like to have all my wagers in on college football, if possible, by Friday. Certainly yesterday and today are days that I'll be putting in the balance of my college football bets. And again, that way Saturday morning you don't have all the value extrapolated out of the market, and you get up in the morning, you enjoy the day, and you sit back and you let your betting plan go. One thing I do want to point out, I was looking at yesterday too. I wanted to make sure you understood this. I want to make sure you understand the juice too. So there's some correlations between this number of 10 and a half and 11 and a half, meaning is it better to take 10 and a half at minus 110, or is it better to take 11 and a half at minus 122? And there's some different charts. I'm paying more juice here, but is this extra half a point worth 22 cents? In this case, it's 15, what is that, 15 cents, 16 cents? You have to understand, again, way the lowest price to get the best line. And so this will typically calculate that out for you. But I'm trying to kind of track and trace to see if there's some correlations between what the exchange is doing at Sport Trade and what some of the sports books are doing. Now, Sport Trade allows you to trade in and out during the game. So if you get in during the game, you see here 4.5 is much different than 3.5. Not a lot though. I mean, the 3.5 to 5 is pretty much the same, right? I mean, now the 3.5, especially in the NFL, are tremendously different. We'll take a look at that next because that's something that is really critical, predominantly in the NFL, because um, the markets are and the markets are so challenging that the 2.5 to the 3 is a different value. The 3 to 3.5 is different value. Now the 4 to the 5 is not as much. So I guess my point is you just have to understand what you're buying, what you're getting, and making sure you're getting the best line, the best odds, and you're using the market making books to find pricing outliers. So that's really the concept here. And this tool does it for you. This tool basically will show you um, hey, this sports book is at 8.5. If you can go get 7 or 6.5 someplace, or 9, the other side, you're really finding the best price and using the smart kids to give you the answers to the test. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense. I did want to point back out too. We'll check out this tab. If you're hunting for a particular game, you can go into the individual sports here. I'm going to open this up and show you that if you tap on this, if you have, say, a specific game you want to look into, this is the James Madison Marshall game, it'll open up and give you all the markets for, for this particular game, whether you have mainline markets, money line, point spread, totals, all of this, and the other markets available. So this is a good screen to use. Let me shrink this down a little bit so you get a little more info on the screen. But yeah, you can use this to pop up on the positive view page or whatnot. This is always kind of interesting. Again, you have Sporttrade here standing out alone here at this 4.5. So let's compare that with what Pinnacle and OddsJam say. So their markets are right about this 3.5. So you ask yourself, the value is it really worth spending the extra 12 cents on the average odds here for a number that's not seemingly more advantageous? But this is what we monitor. This is what I'm assessing, and this is what I'm looking at. And also, what's beautiful about Sporttrade is we'll go through this at another time, but you can actually go to the Sporttrade website and look at their order book, and it'll show you the volume of bets. Huge cool information. You can actually go to Sporttrade and look at the volume coming in on specific games, specific bets, and you can see, obviously, being an exchange is going to be pretty equal, pretty even, but you can sort of see where there's a tiny edge, and you can see the volume. You can see if it's $2,000 of handle, or you can see if there's $8,000. So it's pretty interesting, pretty cool stuff. But open up and kind of show you all the different aspects here of what OddsJam has to offer. I also did want to go to this final page here to show you the bet tracker. Now, that bet tracker keeps track of all this for you. This is my page here. This is kind of the current information. And what's nice is you can see here the month of how you're doing, whether it's positive, profitable. Shows you the live games you have coming up here shortly, and we'll go through a couple of different of these to show you what it does. You can see the total profit. You can see the amount staked, pending bets, things like that. All this information is just so cool to have. You can say, wow, I'm really killing it over here at Fliff, or maybe I'm not doing so well at these other sports books. DraftKings, for some reason, kicks my butt. I'm blown away, but I do pretty well at the others. And so you can see here the data that you have that's available, your CLV, your profit by sport. Did really good in baseball. That's fun. It's just kind of ramping up here now with basketball and football coming back, but you can see your bet type. Now this, I want to point out too, this bet type I want to clarify. obviously a lot of the profits are coming the positive EV. The normal is what is a bet that maybe I put in on my own, my individual research, my individual, self, or maybe I'm getting information from other sharps that I'm tailing them, things like that. The arbitrage. This is the arbitrage range. I don't actually arbitrage. It's just not my thing. But I know it's very very profitable. It's very very cool. It's very very huge. It's just I can only do so much. But I get data from the arbitrage page, which is over here, um, as well as the low hold page with the positive AV. There is a parlay page that the parlay builder. That's if you want to build a specific parlay at a specific book. I messed around with it a little bit. You can see I didn't have any success, and I just had so many other tools that were working, so I kind of got back out of it. But again, you can see the data here on the other parts of this. You have your bet tracker here. This is what keeps track of all the wagers you put in, because as you do a volume situation, um, you know, it really does a nice job of keeping track, so you don't have to write all this stuff down. If you can imagine, then that's why it's too hard to keep up with. But I'll show you just real quick the bet tracker piece, and it keeps track. It shows you all the details of that type, the event name. Here's your odds. So the green is good. So I got this at minus 108. The current line is minus 123. Positive view hammered that one. Tipico, which is limiting me. You'll notice that sometimes it's not your bet size that gets you limited, but it's your CLV that they cut you off. When you're consistently beating them, Bet Rivers, MGM, a lot of them will, not because the bet size per se, but because they know that you know what the hell you're doing, and so they try to restrict you and cut you off. If I get to where this goes, too far the other direction, it gets too far red, typically about 15, 20 cents in the other direction. I may try to cancel that or refund the bet. But that's one nice thing about Sport Trade is if that does do that, I can hedge out of the game even starts and get pretty much my full money back. So again, you have some here that might go a little bit of the other direction, and you may kind of let them ride. But it's nice to see, typically these positive EV bets, these green closing line, high closing line value, way to get identify these wagers. There's occasionally a quote unquote normal one here. I don't like that 5.5. That's a weird number, but the way the markets were going, I took it. But this is the bet tracker, and so this is something that we'll go through, show you lost, you won. It auto corrects it, keeps track of it all, and that's how you so you use it. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense and is very helpful. It's a really cool tool, and I use it all the time. So all right, guys, gonna wrap this up. I want to thank you for stopping by. Again, leave any questions down below. Please use Boyd20, BOYD 20. You can set up an OddsJam to save 20% off the first 2 months of your subscription. What a better time here in the busy time of the year. And as always, appreciate you stopping by. Let's go make some mathematical money.